Welcome to Realty Trader Talk Podcast. I'm here, Jordan Kane, the host, sponsored by Chaser Water, sponsored by RealtyTrader.com. I got an amazing guest today, coming back for the second time, part two. First time we had primarily about recovery. Now we're going to do a little bit about business during recovery or in recovery and the growth of it. Ken Miller, how's it going, my friend?
It's going great, brother. It's going great. I'm glad to be back.
Well, I'm excited. What do you think of the new studio?
The new digs.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah, the chairs are better.
Yeah, oh, man, I appreciate that. So, I know your background. You know, you've had a few different businesses. So, tell everyone about one of your first businesses prior to, recovery. What was that like?
The first business I ever did was a gutter cleaning company.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pressure washing and gutter cleaning up in Connecticut. It was a short success and then a quick failure. We signed contracts with like convalescent homes and stuff like that, and we were cleaning all their housing places and stuff.
Took a lot of deposits.
Not even. It was like one big chunk. My first contract was like $40,000 just pressure washing. I was like, oh man, like this is crazy.
Is it. We made it.
I was like 20 years old.
Right.
I was like $40,000. I'm rich, and that wasn't the case. It went really quick, so, but time progresses, things get better and better and better. And I mean, falling flat on my face a couple million times before I actually got some sort of success. I wouldn't even say I'm successful today. Like success to me is just waking up in the mornings.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, try to be 1% better every day. Mm-hmm. And, I think I'm on track for that. My first, now that I'm in real estate and do different properties and all the different things, I bought a business with a friend of mine, Bill Chevry. It was in downtown Fort Pierce. It's Taco Dive now. It used to be called Lazy Days Grill. Mm-hmm. And like when you're saying, like, you made it, it's so successful. We bought it, I think, in that time. I don't remember the year, but I was early 20s for like $20,000, and we sold it for like 46. So when I was in my early 20s, you couldn't tell me, and I was rich. I mean, I was like, you might as well call me Donald Trump.
And money was different then.
That was true.
Yeah, money was different then.
It has been quite inflated since then.
Quite.
But even that, then that might have been $1 million to me at that time. So I know. Okay, so gutter. Now you had another business that was
in the bar business. Yeah, I love that business, but it just doesn't coexist with my today life, like right. I can't be in the bars until 2 a.m. watching people get hammered and eventually not get my own haircut. You know what I mean? So,
I think that's inevitable when people try to, like iron sharpens iron, but when you're not around the iron, bad people will dull it.
Yeah. And the sickest thing is my partners in the bars, like they were iron, ironclad. Like they reached a pinnacle of success that like I haven't reached yet, and I had a falling off period. So obviously my time is yet to come, God willing, obviously, I guess I am the master of my own destiny, but there's a driving force behind that master, and it's the bigger master. So as long as I stay faithful to that and like know that everything's going to be all right, we're going to be smooth sailing, like I'll have my downs, but they'll be much brighter ups. So, yeah, the bar business is spectacular when you're not getting drunk and high, but as soon as you start dibbling in your own supply, the business is sure to die. You like that? That's bars.
That's bars? Right. Well, they say monkeys can't sell bananas. Yeah, so,
no.
What's very unique, I'm not going to put anyone's business out there, but I know somebody who's actually in recovery, been in recovery now probably 12 years, used to work at a liquor distributor, and now he owns a liquor store. Doesn't drink, sober,
it's possible.
It is possible, and he, I don't know if we're looking at percentages. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it to everyone who's in the rooms or anything.
There's no money like liquor money. You got 1,000% markup on these bottles, right? You're buying a bottle of vodka for $3, and you're selling shots for $4. How many shots are in a bottle?
I don't know, a lot.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy money. The turnaround is unbelievable. And in every impoverished neighborhood in the world, there's 3 things that exist, right? A church, a liquor store, and a nightclub. Why? Because people are looking for a sense of release with something. It's the biggest business in the world today. Like they say the drug business, but no, liquor. It's legal. You know, one day I'll open another bar.
I don't think you're going to have to. I see the journey you're on now, and I mean you're doing well. I think you have big things coming. So now moving into your business now versus in recovery, having those businesses not in recovery, what do you think the biggest, let's just say the biggest difference is between those two?
In today's business, I mean, it's a challenge, right? Every day it's something new, right? Like this morning, I woke up, was excited to go to work, even after having a very bad day yesterday. Got to work, tires flat on the trailer, right? I'm not at the position where I got people doing things for me. I got to jump in. I got to change this tire. Don't have the tools on site. I figure it out. I got a little car jack. I'm out there with a screwdriver, cranking it one notch at a time. I got it off and I got it changed, but it took me an hour and a half. I could have drove the trailer down the street, but I choose to do things the hard way.
Right.
There's 3 inflated tires. Why didn't you just drive it down to St. Lucie Battery and Tire? But the changes in the business today, man, is I'm learning, right? Before I had people to lean on in business. I had partners, and it's just me now, right? And trying to scale and stuff like that, you really see the difficulty in that as a single operator. You know what I mean? Like, how do I step away? And that's ultimately what I have to do, right? Every business owner that's in some sort of construction will tell you, like, eventually you got to remove yourself from the business in order to grow. And, I'm still stuck in that area where it's like, do I take the plunge? And obviously I'm the risk taker, right? So I'm going to take the plunge eventually. It's just finding that right person, right? That I could be like, hey, I need another me, essentially, right? If I had a clone machine, like, here you go. Like, you're going to handle the sales, you're going to handle operations, you're going to handle materials. I got to step away and go to all these networking events, and like this way I could grow. And I guess it's a day at a time, right? The same way I stay recovered is just doing it a day at a time. Like tomorrow, who knows? God might put someone in my life that's like, hey, man, I want to help you grow this thing, and we're just going to keep trudging along until that happens, So I don't know. What else?
Well, I think, I align with that. Tiffany and I just formed a team together, and, now we have, an amazing group of girls who, which guys, I have 2 spots open right now. If you want to come and learn the blueprint,
the plug.
Reach out to me. But, we have 3 amazing girls, Tiffany and myself. And, it opens up the doors to, like you said, pursue other avenues, let them run some leads, let them do these. And I mean, they run great businesses on their own. So I think that's the progression of business. You want to look for that. We also have, Priscilla, who helps with a lot of my social media. She's going to come in and help us with a lot of other pieces. And I think finding that person, like I know computer and all that, I'm, the worst at. I have a lot of great attributes in other areas. So, when you said what else, I would say, look, if you're the supplies, if you're the materials, if you're the crew guy, you don't need to be at the networking events. You need to get the person on your team to go to the networking events for you.
That's true.
That's who you need because, you got all the other pieces. There's a lot of other pieces there. But that's for another day, another dollar.
I'm excited about your team, though, because like you had Charlie's Angels, now you got Jordan's Agents.
Jordan's Agents. Oh, man, I need to put that on the plug on the next post.
You got to do like a whole Charlie's Angels theme, and it's like Jordan's Agents,
Yeah, man.
It's cool.
That was super cool. I didn't get that text message when you see that. Look, well, I tell you, so you're marketing too, I'm
a marketing guru, bro.
Yeah,
I owned bars. Like, if there's anything I know, it's marketing, right? And I'm old school marketing, right? I'm just learning AI and all that stuff. I'm decent at it, But when it comes to face marketing and being like out there, man, I could shake hands with the best of them and have a conversation. It's nothing for me to just start blabbing, Like even this, like the last one we did, I was just freestyling, right? And like, it just comes naturally. And like, you hear me at meetings.
Bro, you got it.
Like
you
I could talk.
You definitely
I need to get
talk.
that realtor's license.
You used to, push me into talking. So yeah, no, bro, you got it. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's if God gave me anything, it wasn't body. I'll tell you that much. But he definitely gave me a mouthpiece, man.
So you mentioned yesterday was a hard day.
Yeah.
What happened yesterday?
Lost a friend of almost 8 years, man.
Oh, wow.
To this thing, right? To this disease of addiction. And, you know, he's like a little brother to me, man. Like, and he was such a good person, you know, like, and it's sad to watch when someone you know is solid, you know, and like they just can't get out of their own way. And, you know, he was a father of 2 and great dad when he was doing the right thing, you know, and, yeah, he'll be missed, man. Like, he, I think that's where that flat tire came from this morning.
Yeah.
Because he worked on all my vehicles. And I think he threw one at me this morning, like, oh, how you like me now?
Right. Let you know, I'm still looking out from you up above.
You're going to get this done, Ken. You don't need me. You know?
Yeah, man. He was a super good dude. You know, he used to come to the gym, and we used to go to the same gym in the morning. You know, it's really hard. It doesn't matter, you know, how long you're in this and recovery, and, you know, you see the progression either coming up or going down, and it, you know, it doesn't matter. It still hurts the same when.
Well, they told me when I walked into those rooms that they, I'll be stepping over bodies as long as I stay sober. And it's crazy that they say something like that to you, but it's the truth, right?
Right.
I've lost so many over the last 8 years, man. It's like, I look back, I could go through my phone. I could probably make an hour collage on like CapCut, you know, of just people I've lost and missed and think about all the time, right? But I look at them as my angels, man. Like they're the ones that when I'm feeling down, they raise me up, you know. Like so, I'm grateful I got to know them at their best, you know. So it's a wild journey we're on, man.
That's why it's so important, you know, to get these testimonies out and talk and put it out there. You know, I have people come and say, I can't believe in that industry, you know, you're so raw, you put your story out there. You know, I don't do it for me. Oh. You know, it's, you know, my sponsor right here, you know, I don't know how good I'm doing, but
you're
you know,
terrible.
You tell me about, you know, how being selfish, and I feel, you know, I was a very selfish person in recovery, and you know, I took a lot and didn't give as much back. So I try to find an outlet now to, you know, give some back and be a support. You know, I've had people message me on Messenger and stuff, and been able to reach out. And
that 12-step work goes anywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
It doesn't have to be in the rooms. Right? It could be like anything. An old lady needs help moving some furniture. You see it on Facebook. Hey, I got a truck. I'm going to come help you. It's just getting out of self, you know? That's all we got to do is just be of service. You know, you go to church. I'm sure you're of service in church. You know, you're of service to your family. You know, I see you helping people, you know, like it's not a bad thing. Like it's good that you get outside yourself. You know, that's important for us, man. Like it gives us a sense of being, you know, when we're not thinking about Kenny and Jordan and we're putting it somewhere else, it makes us feel so much better. We go to sleep at night knowing like, I did God's work today. You know, like that's a key. So.
Yeah, I went to church at Calvary on Sunday, and which it was such an amazing sermon. It was on the prodigal son, which was.
You like their pavers and their walkways?
It looks amazing.
I did that.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna plug you with a selfie. Yeah, it looks amazing though. You did an amazing job. And on the prodigal son, and you know, it's just so relatable. And then after the sermon, gentleman got up to tell his testimony. He's probably early 30s. Just almost made it to the NFL, got in the wrong crowd, started partying at the clubs and pharmaceuticals, and, you know, hurt his hamstring, you know, right before he was going out there. I mean, he won all the awards in Division I and went down the wrong path, ended up in jail, and, you know, now he has 3 kids. And, you know, it's such an amazing story after the prodigal son. But, you know, for him to get up there, and, you know, he was emotional and, you know, a tough football player, and but it's just, you know, telling those stories and getting out there. So I asked him to come on too because he had a great testimony. But for business, because you and I will run down the recovery road forever. So what's the biggest lie that, you know, contractors are telling people today? What's one of the biggest lies?
In my industry?
Yeah, we'll go with your industry.
Oh, man. Well,
let's do this. What's one of the biggest scams in the contracting industry that people aren't talking about?
I don't know because I don't do them.
Well, what are you saying? Because you got to be the guy who, you know, comes in or after the fact.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that take deposits and don't show up, you know, and it really sets people like me up for like failure because like we get to the bargaining table and people are like, yeah, I want to move forward, but I don't want to give you a deposit, right? And in reality, like, I'm not a millionaire, so how am I supposed to float 10, 15 grand of material.
Especially when you're doing 3-4 jobs.
Right. You know, and it's like trying to get these people to trust you and give a deposit, which I would never take anybody's money and not give them a product. Right. And my my Google reviews show that, right? Like Kenny shows up when he says he's going to show up. He does what he says he's going to do. And I love my job. Right. And so I guess the biggest scam is there's people all over these social media marketplaces and whatnot saying they could do something for less. Right. And it's like, I think the biggest thing is knowing that like you get what you pay for. Right. Like, yeah, I might be in the middle here as far as price goes, but you get my phone number, right? You're going to see me in my truck. Like, you're not going to get some Joe Schmo that's showing up to my job site telling you how it's going to go and what he's going to do. No, you got a problem, you call me, you got me directly. So you don't got to worry about getting scammed, you know? And like I said in the last podcast, my word means something to me today. You know, like, so if I tell you I'm going to do something, you better believe I'm coming to do it because that's my word, man. Like, I only have my word, you know? And like, if I lose that, I'm no longer of use to anybody, including myself or my family. You know, so.
I think people who are in recovery and have been in recovery make some of the best business owners because of that piece. And I had a closing on Friday, and I was gonna call the buyer. It was a very unique deal, and she didn't have any representation, but I really wasn't representing her either. So I told her, well, yeah, I'll call you once the money gets funded. I have represented the seller. And I didn't call her to let her know that it was all good. You know, one thing led to another. So, you know, I spoke to her the next day, and I said, you know, I just want to apologize and tell you, you know, I'm sorry. And she's like, oh, it's no big deal. I understand. I said, no, you know, it's very important when you say you're going to do something, you do what you say. And before, I would have just told them, hey, I was busy. You know, here's the information. Sorry for you. You know, I'm a busy guy. But you know, that without that recovery piece and, you know, the steps and inventory. And
just knowing that you gave somebody your word and it's got to be bond, right? Like if I tell you, hey, Jordan, I'll be at your house at 1:00. Like even this morning, you're like, hey, you still coming? Yes. I was in the middle of changing time. Like, got to get it done. Got to get it done. But yes, I'm coming because I told you this is what we're doing, right? Like, who am I to leave you hanging? Your time's just as valuable as mine, right? When we take time away from what we need to do every day and someone wastes it, could have been closing a deal. You know, like, why did I sit around for an hour waiting for Jordan when I could have been out there trying to figure out how I was going to feed my family tonight, you know? So.
Or helping somebody else. You know, I saw how, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this or not, but I'm going to. You can just tell me to cut it out if you don't like it. In a meeting, you know, someone wanted some sponsorship, and you said, look, he's like, well, I'll call you. You're like, you don't have to. He said, you know what? Call me every day. And, you know, don't waste my time. You know, like, if you want to do this, I'm here to help.
I said it way more.
You did. Yeah. You did. But, you know, I toned it down. But, no, you absolutely did. And, you know, it's because, you know, don't waste my time when I could be helping the next person who raised their hand who needed it.
Yeah, we're busy guys. So, like, for me to take time away from my day, dude, listen, I'll sponsor anybody, right? But if I'm going to take time away from my day to sit with you for a couple hours twice a week, don't waste my effing time. You know, like, keep it real with me. Because, like, now you're taking time away from somebody that could have used it, man. You know? You didn't waste my time, though.
Hey, I'm a success story. You know, I appreciate that. And I think it's, you know, you can help somebody as much as they want to help themselves. You know, like you guide them the path, but if they're not fully accountable for themselves or their time or wanting to do the thing, you know, it doesn't matter how much you want to help somebody.
Yeah. And like, I'm a true believer in like community stuff too, right? Like Paul and I are doing another beach cleanup, right? In October. And that all the proceeds are going to the Hope Center for Autism down there in Stewart.
Well, I just had the opportunity to help a dog rescue in Palm City. So amazing. And, you know, she reached out and, you know, this became, you know, a platform for service to be able to help them. And, you know, they ended up having a huge turnout. You know, I made some clips and some videos and posted them, ran some ads, and they 3 dogs got adopted. So I mean, like, you know, being able to have a platform to help and that way, you know, that was.
I think I seen you doing that. As a matter
Yeah,
of fact.
it was a super cool opportunity.
Again, all the proceeds are going to the Hope Center for Autism. So if you want to come out, bring the family, dude. Like, tell your friends, tell their families come out. There's going to be food, and you know, I guess we could call it fellowship in the morning. There's going to be donuts and coffee.
Well, this is like the second or third one, right?
The third, yeah. So it's a big ordeal, man.
I know. I was at therapy. Huge shout out to iMind. You know, they helped me, and you know, I'm a big proponent of therapy. I hope everyone, you know, if they need it, reach out. iMind can definitely help them. And you know, looking for our next event with the iMind Foundation. You know, they do events to try to help people who don't have the financial ability to go to therapy and help. So, you know, we're working on our next event with that too. We did pickleball. The founder of the nonprofit is a big pickleball, so they do a great job.
All right, so October 3rd, 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., Stewart Beach. We're doing the beach cleanup. It's me, CM Junk and Demo, Crystal Clear Productions, Venice Construction. There's a bunch of us involved. So if you want to come out, bring the family. That's October 3rd, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. Stewart Beach.
Nice.
So now we got the proper time date.
When was that again?
Stewart Beach, October 3rd.
Okay, October 3rd.
Yeah.
Great.
So, what you were saying about iMind. Sorry, I finally found the photo.
No, that was perfect. No, I was just saying that, you know, again, helping people, sponsoring, having someone who, you know, does the thing, and, you know, you get that feel of purpose. When you show up, like, I've never gone to a meeting. There's been a lot of meetings where I didn't want to go, and I've drugged myself, or, you know, I've told someone, hey, I'm going to show up, and I'm like, oh, it's 7:30. Oh, no. But I've never once left a meeting not feeling better about.
Fulfilled.
Yeah, fulfilled. Yeah. Yes. And I just think that's the same thing with service. You know, if you have a way to do it, you know, if you're capable.
Yeah. I was just rolling through the pictures, looking for pictures of the kid that passed away yesterday, and yours popped up. The one where I sent you a text, I'm like, smile. I'm like, you look so miserable. I got the picture. I almost sent it to you.
I was deep in thought.
That was, 3 years ago?
Yeah.
It's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been an amazing journey. So back on business, we talked about contractors. What's one of the worst customers that you ever had, and what did you learn from it?
So recently I had a customer. We got finished with the whole job. It was a travertine install with a turf inlay, right? Beautiful. Came out gorgeous. We switched gears midway through the job. Like I was explaining to the customer the functionality. One thing I learned is that you need to get things in writing, right? Because you could talk all day and switch gears on a job, but if it's not in writing, they could hold your feet to the fire at the end. So it was an extreme lesson to me. The guy held payment at the end. I leaned his home, right? And then come to find out he did send a check in the mail, right? So I had to go release the lien because he paid. But yeah, man, when you're out there and you're dealing with customers and people, you got to understand we all have our particulars, I guess you could call it, right? Where it's like, well, you said you were going to do this, you did this. But no matter what, if it's not in writing and you don't get a sign off, like it's all hearsay, you know? So the worst type of customer I've dealt with is the one that I give the discount to. It's always the person I give the discount, right? And it's always the smallest job, right? It's the $1,000 jobs or the $1,500 jobs that they think they're spending $1 million, you know? And one thing I found, and like now I'm at the point where I don't give discounts no more. Right. In the beginning, I gave discounts because I needed business. I needed the driving force behind the income base. But now it's like, hey, I show up. If it's a small job, hey, I got a minimum. Right. You could do it. You don't do it. It's okay with me. But I just understand, like, you're going to get the same attention as the $10, $20, $40, $60,000 customer because you're paying a minimum. You know, like I'm going to put you on my schedule. The job's going to get completed. But no more discounts. Right? Oh, do you give a cash discount? No, I don't. Right? And I'm going to tell you why. Because when I go to Walmart and Publix, I pay cash. I'm paying the same price. Right? And it is what it is. You know, like my price doesn't change because it's cash, right? When I buy Pavers, I can't go in there and be like, hey, could I get a cash discount? They're going to laugh at me, like, so yeah, the discounted customers are always the problems. And I learned to stay, not everybody's my customer, man. And that's one thing I had to learn. Not everybody's for me, right? And it's okay to not win a bid or win that customer over, because that's God watching out for me, Yeah. So I stay away from those.
So for employees, would you rather have 10 great employees or 30 average employees?
At this point in my process, I'd rather have 2 great employees. I don't want 10. I don't think I ever want 10 employees, because there's a difference between staying small long enough and letting it grow on its own than trying to just jump into this upper echelon, right? 10, 30, 20, 30 employees, like, becomes unmanageable, man. Like, you need a team behind you, right? If I could find 5 solid people that show up and are excited to work and are happy to be there, I think that's how you become successful, man. Like, right, taking care of your employees is key. And when you start getting a multitude of them, it becomes convoluted, right? And people don't get the attention they crave or the kudos, right? Like, how do you give 30, 40 employees kudos? Like, you send out a mass email, hey guys, you're all doing great. That's not realistic, right? You throw a pizza party. Right now, I got 2 guys, and they're solid, right? They show up, they're excited to work. They don't argue with me. I ask them to do something, they do it, right? When I was looking at my watch 5 seconds ago, that was my guy asking, hey man, you mind grabbing me a bite to eat? Absolutely. Because he's out there busting his hump. It's 94 degrees out. Like, yeah. I treat my guys well, man. Like, because I know what it's like to be out there. I know what it's like to be soaking wet in sweat and just hoping for a rain day, and yeah, so having 10 employees isn't a goal of mine right now. It's not realistic for me, and like, that's the only way I could answer that question, because I don't know what it would be like to have 10 great employees, right? But I do know what it's like to have 2 great employees and guys that are excited to work, and we joke around and we laugh, and I get in there with them, man, because I'm not going to make them do anything I'm not willing to do myself. And I think that's the key.
100%.
Right? If you want to be a great leader, you got to be able to lead from within. You got to be able to jump in when you're needed, and I'll do that. Even though my other guys are like, no, you're Hefe, you go sit in the truck, we got it. And I'm like, no, give me a shovel.
That's right.
Give me a shovel.
I know I told Tiffany yesterday, I was like, get them all in a room. We're going to get on the phone together. I'm going to call these people. I need them to, I want them to see, look, look, if I can get it done, you can get it done. This is how I want you to do it, and let's get after it.
Yeah.
You get out there and just, expect people to do things. And
who's that big realtor in Manhattan? Ryan Servant? Is that his name?
Sirhan? Yeah.
You see him, he gets down in the trenches with his people. Like, oh, you can't close this deal? Get me on the phone.
Watch, let me show you. Yeah.
Like, and I feel like that's a true leader, right? Like, we got to be able to jump in with our people, man. And if the only way you're going to become successful is if your team's successful, right? And same thing for construction. If my team's not successful, then I got no right being successful, right? They should be able to go home, know they made a solid paycheck, know their bills are paid, food on the table for their kids. That's what it's about, right? The riches will come when other people are being blessed, right? It's not about just blessing me. Like, I see these guys out here, all big trucks, paying their guys $100 a day. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, how? I bet you I could go right now into a lot of these companies and be like, hey, you want a better opportunity? Come with me, right? But this is what I need from you. And I bet you most of them will slide, right?
Well,
because
start making a list, because one day you have to make those phone calls.
I got eyes on everybody. Okay. I know who I want and who I don't want. Like, they're in my little black book. And one day it's going to execute. But right now, I'm just happy where I'm at, right? Like, I know a guy that's in a bigger paver company, and he's like, I'm jealous of you, man. He's like, I think I took on too much. And I'm like, don't be jealous of me. Your bank account's looking way healthier. He's like, yeah, but the peace of mind you have is not what I have. And I was like, damn. It's not always about the money. And like, money can make you miserable. So,
well, that's why, also what's super important I've found in business is you don't know it all. And, when that pride and ego comes in, again, talking with Tiffany about doing our own brokerage and running it that way, and I'm over that pride and ego just because I want my name on the door. I could care less about it. That's why I align myself with Richard McKinney, who owns, now 5 Remax Golds and one of the biggest, now it's not called Flex, Premier Zillow teams or teams with Remax in Florida through different outlets. But, mentorship and learning from, the best. I don't know everything. There's things I'd like to know. And I'd rather run parallel with someone who's doing it, who will take me on, and, I appreciate the loyalty, and I'll give it right back. So, it's always important.
It comes back to that iron sharpens iron thing that you guys 100%. Like to talk about, right?
I love that, yeah.
That's what it is. Like, if I surround myself with the right people in this business or a close industry, how could you fail? Right? The only way you're going to fail is if you're not listening and taking direction. Goes back to our journey through the rooms, right? If you didn't take direction and be open-minded to learning, you're going to be nothing, right? You probably wouldn't be sitting here running a podcast, right? You'd probably be up at Gladiator School right now.
That's right, Gladiator School.
You know what I mean? But like we chose to keep an open mind and take direction from people that knew a little more than us, right? And all it took was that little mustard seed, man.
That's
just planted.
The faith of mustard seed.
Now we got to hold vines in our brains and stuff like that.
Well, I think that's all. Like everyone wants it so fast too, and I think like back to the basics of business. In recovery, they call it a recovery job, or that's what I've heard people call it. And I worked for 2 years for $15 an hour. Well, I got a raise or here or there, but it started out at $15 an hour, and maybe it went up to 17 or 20, or I don't remember exactly, but it was 2 years of that.
Right.
Before it comes up, and I think that's another part of recovery, and getting to that place. It's not going to happen overnight. You've got to take that first step to get to the second step. Don't come in and I want this business and I want that. Just
that instant gratification. You're like, oh, I remember the first time, I don't know what I was driving when we first started working together, but I remember you're like, you got a nice
You were
truck.
driving a clean and seal Tahoe or something, or some black something, I think.
Oh yeah, black Tahoe, yeah. But I also had the Dodge Ram.
You had the Dodge Ram too. Yeah.
And I remember you're like, oh, you got a nice truck. I'm like, no, I don't, dude. I'm like, this is just basic, right? Like, and
well, I was walking.
And then you had the Toyota.
Then I moved up to my workers.
Like, I got crank windows. This thing ain't got no AC. I was like, yo, it's beautiful. You got a car though.
That's right.
Right. It's like learning to just be grateful for the little things, man. Right. Because I got 2 trucks in my driveway that I pay monthly for, right? I don't own these things. And people see me on Facebook and they're like, oh, you're killing it. And I'm like, dude, I'm not.
I'm killing these payments.
These payments are killing me.
Right.
Like, and I think we all have a tendency to make it look really good, right? But I think my goal this year is to really let people see the reality of it, right? Because it's not always rainbows and unicorns, man. It's not. Right? I'm sure you and Tiffany go through your ups and downs in business, right? Just like us out here in the construction field. It's not as beautiful as we make it look on social media, but appearances are important.
Appearances are important, and social media, I have conversations with this as well, is because now, when you talk about being a marketing guru or marketing, and they're like, oh, you're putting this on social media, you're putting on, and for the most part, it's more marketing. It's, you have an outlet now. I used to spend, in my first business in my 20s, we used to put ads in the newspaper. Flyers and, spending thousands of dollars on that. Here's a way, if you have enough reach, it doesn't cost you anything to hit record and talk into this phone that you have. So, if you're in business and you talk bad about social media, then you're not in business, because this is the future. Period.
Yeah. I had a guy the other day say to me, he's like, how do you get these leads? And I'm like, I pay for marketing, dude. I'm like, I make videos, I make content, I'm posting 4 times a week. Like, what are you doing? Well, I don't do any of that. Well, you're missing the trigger point here, like, because if you're just sitting back thinking this stuff, the phone's just going to ring, it's not going to happen. And my phone still doesn't ring every day.
Right.
I still hit the mental low spots where I'm like, oh, is this even worth it? you know, and then all of a sudden, phone's ringing. I'm like, oh, please make it stop.
Right.
Like, you know,
But that's a God thing. That's where God comes in.
You know, and like I think people fall short on the social media stuff because like I'm just now, like after my 74-pound loss, right? Like I'm like, okay, now I'm a little more comfortable getting on camera. Last time I was in here, I was in a meatball, dude.
No, you have done great.
Like,
You've lost a lot of weight.
I hated that chair.
You're going to start coaching people and
No.
No?
No.
You don't have before and afters to put up, and you're not going to get in that?
No.
No?
No, I mean, dude, I'm just going to continue to work hard and make sure I'm healthy throughout my late 40s and 50s. You know, like
3 months from now, you're going to be like, hey, man, let's get on that podcast thing. You know, I started training somebody. I'm ready to do a program.
yeah, I'll start making meals.
Right.
You know, like, hey, come get these chicken cutlets with protein pasta. Mm-hmm. But no, man, I mean, this is for me. Like, I struggled with self-esteem my whole life. You know, like going from skinny to fat, skinny to fat, skinny to fat. And this time I kind of made a decision, like, and I'm going to be honest with you, after that first podcast we did, it was a big turning point for me, right? Because I thought I looked good. Mm-hmm. And then I see myself on video and I'm like, man, you look terrible. Mm-hmm. You know, and I just jumped in. I started every morning, 4:30 in the morning, I'm in that gym. Like now I just signed up to Raw.
Mm-hmm. Right? Oh, moving up.
Well, I still go to Crunch. So I got a split schedule because you know, you got to change things up. It just gets redundant, right? So like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm at Raw. Tuesday, Thursdays, I train at Crunch. And then Saturday, Sunday, I go wherever I want. But I'm doing ice plunges now, you know, like red light sauna, like just wellness stuff, man, for me, right? Because at the end of the day, I got to take care of this up here and the rest down here because if I'm not put together, I'm going to fall apart, man. Like so it's important to work on my mental health. It's important to work on my physical health. And you know, yesterday, with losing a friend, I went down a deep tunnel of just pizza and ice cream, you know, like, because I needed something to feel good, you know, some feel-good food. But this morning I woke up, I was like protein shakes and bananas.
Yes, back to business. You know, get past it and be able to reel it back in. Yeah.
I'm just grateful to be one of the ones still standing here, man. And after losing, you know, over the last 15 years, I probably lost about 30 friends, you know, and sometimes I ask myself, like, why am I still here? You know, and I'm still here because I got new friends, right? I'm still here because I got a woman that loves me, man. We're getting married. I never thought.
Me neither.
Never thought, man. And like, you know, like we're struggling with that idea. Like we were going to go to Mexico and then we felt like we were getting scammed by a destination person. And now we're talking to a new destination person. It might be Dominican Republic. And it's just constantly evolving, right? Like, and it's that first decision or that first thought is never real. Like, it's like pump the brakes, right? Like I had to start thinking about my guests, you know, like in coming to the wedding, like why am I going to cost them $6,000? It's not fair to you guys, right? You're one of my attendees. Like, it's not fair to you. Jordan, come see me get married. Spend $6,000.
Look, I looked at it as like a trip. We're going to Mexico. I had a plan.
Well, yeah, but
I understand.
You and I think similarly, right?
But don't think you're getting a gift and I'm flying to Mexico. I'm going to give you a big hug.
But no, man, and like the gift is you guys just being there.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't care about money and stuff like that. Like, but I had to scale back and be like, you know, Mexico's not it, right? Because it's a 5-hour flight for my family, right? And then they got to get out of the airport and get on a bus for another 2.5 hours. That's not fair. 7 hours of travel, it's not fair, right? So we're scaling it back. This week we're gonna make a decision. Hey, I might get married on Stewart Beach.
Look, man, nothing's perfect. Tiffany and I, we switched we had it planned, but we switched 3 times. I mean, we ended up getting our place, you know, a couple months right before. It went from one venue to this venue. That's right, Boston House. And, you know, shout out to Georgette. She's got that thing going. I can't wait to have Georgette on here. Georgette's such a good person, and Boston House is doing their thing. But, you know, it just worked out. We ended up going to the yacht club. And
it was a great time.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
We had a blast.
Yeah, it was a good time. You know, everyone. It was an amazing, emotional day.
Yeah, I spent the $300 on a suit jacket. It doesn't fit me.
Well, you got to get that thing trimmed in.
I put it on the other day. I was like, oh my God, this is a blanket. So yeah, man. I mean, business is good. Life is good. I'm glad I still got some solid friends around. Right, like we don't get to chop it up as much because we're both busy, but I know if things were falling apart, I could call you.
In a second.
Know, like I know I could reach out to Tiffany and she'd be like, Jordan, you need to go see Kenny. You know
of
what I
course.
mean? Like,
having those people.
just truly grateful for the people I've met on this journey. And I hope it continues, man. Like, I feel like we're all destined for great success, right? And one way or another, whether it's this business or another one, like we're just that type of that type of men, you know, and like we need to lean on each other once in a while, and I think we'll all be all right, you know.
So if you could, 30 years from now, and all the people you're touching today, meeting today, and rooms and business and everything else, we're all sitting in a room. What would you hope they would say about you?
I just would hope they would say, hey, man, Kenny was honest. And, he, are you talking about after I'm deceased? 30 years. I mean, I don't think I got 30 summers left.
You got 30 years. All this weight loss and working out, there you got 45 easy.
I just hope that they would say, hey, man, Kenny was a real one. He was honest and he was a man's man, right? Like he if he said he was going to do something, he did it. And I would hope there wasn't no bad things said, right? Because like I got a big heart, man. Like I try to play that tough guy persona, but that's only if it's needed. You know what I mean? Like today, like my heart hurts for so many, dude. Like I try to help where I can help, and I just hope they see that. And I just want my legacy to be like he helped as many as he could before he left. And I think that's my ultimate goal in life is just people knowing that I tried. And that's it. I don't want nothing else from anybody. They could just smile and be like, hey, we had some good times. I'm cool with that.
I think you're on track, bro.
I hope so.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming out today.
Always.
Yeah, man, it's great. I can't wait. We'll come back in a few months when you're
brother
running.
in Christ.
Brother in Christ. That's right. But no, when you come back in 3 months and you're, running your program and your coaching, I'll be happy to have you on and get that set up.
And one more thing before we go is like I'm watching all you guys jump into Christianity, and I jumped in. Like
right on.
I'm following suit because I see you guys are happy, man. Like and I was raised Catholic, and now I'm doing a Bible study, and just being around a bunch of men that are in this Bible study, and like I could just throw up on them, and they're just like, hey. Let's read this.
That's right.
I'm like,
bro, I completely wouldn't think that it would grow that way. But I mean, you're around a good group of guys, and I think Christianity is growing, more now than it was in the past 20 years. Yeah. I think people are, the world is really separating. And I think, it's...
just want to be on the right side.
Exactly. Yeah. With good people. And like you said about the support, just like in the rooms, you got a good group of people. In these Bible studies in church, you got a good group of people. And, being
just
around the
keep
right
showing
crowd.
up.
Yep.
Keep showing up and doing God's will, not your own, and everything's going to be all right. No matter how far it gets down, it's going to be all right.
Yeah, and I mean, the rooms in recovery, is the first thing that brought me back to God. I wasn't walking in the church doors, It was sitting in there and putting God first and talking to Him and having a relationship before I even went to fully,
jump back in.
Yeah. But
we're blessed, brother.
Absolutely.
So, truly.
All right, guys, it's another episode of the Realty Trader Talk podcast. Ken Miller. Oh, before we go, Ken, how can people find you if they need any pavers and hardscapes? And
I'm on all platforms, Cobblestone, Pavers, and Hardscapes, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and my phone number is 772-274-8395. Give us a call. We do it all.
So reach out to this guy, honest. If you got any realtors, if you've got any clients in tradition or out there that need clean and seal on their pavers or new paver driveways, this is an honest guy. He gets it done. Reach out to him.
Curb appeal specialist.
This guy's many things. You go ahead and add curb appeal specialist to the list. But thank you guys please like and share, subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscribers up. Thank you, Chaser Water, Realty Trader Talk podcast. I'm Jordan Kane, the host. See you next time.